All right, I think we're going to move on. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christina Seabour, and I'm a biotech analyst at Piper Jaffray. I'm pleased to introduce the next company, Oxford Biomedica, which is developing gene therapies for Parkinson's disease and ocular diseases. Please welcome Peter Nolan, Senior VP of Commercial Development, who will provide an update on the company.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope I can get through in 15 minutes and not keep you from the tea break for too long. Oxford Biomedica is a public company, so the first slide is to warn you that I will be making forward-looking statements. So for the next 15 minutes, I want to give you an overview of the strengths of the company and where it's going and what it's achieved in the 16, 17 years of its existence. So Oxford Biomedica is a gene therapy company. It was founded in 1996 as a spin-out from the biochemistry department in Oxford. And currently today, as we highlight going through the presentation, I'll emphasize the various aspects of the company, including the management team, the emphasis on the platform technology that the academic founders bought based upon engineered lentiviruses, which have the capability of single administration treatment to patients, providing long-lasting therapy with the potential for just one treatment. Underpinning this, we have a specialist GMP manufacturing facility that we acquired some 4 years ago, and this is linked and allows us to leverage in the substantial know-how and expertise that has been developed since the company started. Over the years, we have established collaborations on some of our products with Big Pharma, including Sanofi, Novartis most recently, and Pfizer. So in terms of the management team, the company is led by the CEO, John Dawson. John was the head of Cephalon Europe and built Cephalon up from nothing to $1 billion turnover. Our CFO joined 2 years ago. Company, he has substantial pharma experience and spec pharma experience, having been at AstraZeneca and Archimedes Pharma. And the rest of the board, the non-executives in the UK, are seasoned biotech and pharma executives. Underneath that, we have an experienced management team. And the purpose of this slide is to demonstrate that essentially the company, in gene therapy terms, is fully integrated in its capacity to develop products through the entire development product life cycle. So we can take things through preclinical, we have the regulatory and clinical experience, we can make the material we put into the clinic, both for clinical scale and commercial scale. So the foundations of the company have been built, and our strategy going forward is to build on what we've achieved to date and fill our pipeline with more new product opportunities that fit the growing interest in ophthalmology and the way we're working, to increase through third-party alliances our license income from products either that we are developing ourselves or ones that we are licensing to other people using our underlying intellectual property. Our manufacturing expertise is becoming increasingly important in this space, and we can see increasing revenues from providing third parties access to our manufacturing, GMP manufacturing in the lentiviral space, as a collaboration in developing products that use our skills, materials, and intellectual property. As we move ahead, we will take an opportunistic view of looking at mergers and acquisitions, and if we see an opportunity to acquire or merge, we will do that if that is strategically relevant. But the key message here, as we move forward, is that we can see over the next 3 to 5 years that we are moving towards a cash break-even and profitability, and providing our patient shareholders with a return on their investment. Now, this slide provides an illustrative view of how we see our revenue streams growing over the next few years. And the purpose of this is to demonstrate the multiple revenue streams that we have, from just our underlying IP estate to our collaborations with our big pharma partners, new product opportunities that we see coming forward, and the relationships we expect to develop in terms of manufacturing and product development for third parties. If we look at the lentivector gene delivery technology in a little bit of detail, the underlying technology around lentiviruses as gene delivery systems, most people work in the ex vivo space and use HIV as a virus to develop as a vector. Whilst we have that capability, we have developed a different lentivirus based upon a horse virus for in vivo use. And that distinguishes us from others using lentiviral vectors for clinical use, in that we are delivering our vectors in vivo. We are essentially converting cells in the back of the eye or in the brain to become pharmaceutical factories to produce the products that we're developing. Over the years, we have also taken great care to guarantee we have freedom to operate, and have established a fairly important, substantial intellectual property estate. One of the key features of using lentiviral vectors for gene delivery compared to other gene delivery systems is that one of their key strengths is that they can have a large capacity. And in our Parkinson's product, we have the ability to express 3 genes from one gene construct. We have seen with the clinical programs that we've had over the last 5 years, we've seen no toxicity in any of the patients we treated and no adverse immune responses from the use of this vector system. So these gene therapy vector systems now have evolved to become safe, and they become very efficient in what they do. Also, our experience with putting 3 programs through an IND into the clinic here in the US and CTA with products in the UK and in France, we have been able to leverage the common manufacturing aspects to the technology so that now the route to the clinic is much faster and very efficient. So the slides on the right-hand part of this slide demonstrate the efficiency that the platform can put genes into both neurons, specialized eye cells in the back of the eye, to skin cells, and also lung epithelial cells. This slide shows our product portfolio, and one of the purposes of the slide here is on the right-hand side is to give an indication over the next 2 to 3 years of where the next value inflection points are as our products go through various stages of clinical development. For the lentiviral vector technology, there is an expanding group of products in ophthalmology, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide, as also the CNS product we have in Parkinson's disease. We intend over the next year or so to identify further opportunities to put into this pipeline based upon our experience in developing lentiviral vectors. And at the bottom of the slide, in the pipeline slide, you'll see we have additional products under an additional platform based upon a tumor-associated antigen called 5T4 that we licensed from the Cancer Research Campaign back when the company was founded. 5T4 is found on the surface of most solid tumors, but not found in significant levels on healthy tissues. This makes it an ideal target to put into various interventions. As an antigen, we developed it as a cancer vaccine called Trovax. That's been in multiple trials, and we expect to see some phase 2 data emerging over the next 2 years. The antibody to 5T4 has been licensed to Pfizer. That's currently in a clinical study using an ADC strategy. The diagnostic rights, in vivo diagnostic rights, have been licensed to a company in California called Imaginab, and that will be clinical by the end of this year. In addition, we have a collaboration with the UK academic group where we're using the 5T4 target to develop a CART program to target solid tumors that we would expect to have preclinical data by 2015. And our intention with that is to identify an appropriate partner to take that forward. So in terms of the clinical programs on the lentiviral platform, retinostat is for wet AMD. It's in a phase 1 safety study. It's coming close to recruiting all the patients in the final cohort. So to date, so far, this has demonstrated as a safety study that it is safe, and we have demonstrated also that we can detect the transgenes that we have put into the back of the eye. These are endostatin and angiostatin. These are both anti-angiogenic proteins, and we can detect the expression of these proteins by taking small, aqueous taps from the front of the eye, and that has demonstrated we can see a dose response as we've gone through the various cohorts. Retinostat is under option to Sanofi, and we are anticipating that will be a decision that there will need to be made at some point during the year. That provides a value inflection point because that would then trigger a milestone payment. The Stargen and Ushtat programs are for 2 genetic diseases of blindness. They're currently in phase 1/2 studies in patients. In 2012, Sanofi exercised the option they had on these 2 products, and we're in the process of going through a tech transfer process to transfer these products to Sanofi. Oncostat is an engineered tissue graft strategy for preventing corneal graft rejection. We've been very successful in getting UK government grant to push that through into a clinical setting. Our Parkinson's program, Prosavin, completed a phase 1 study in 2012, demonstrating that it met the primary endpoint of safety and demonstrated evidence of efficacy. This was published in The Lancet in January of this year. We intend to push this program into a phase 2 setting with a more potent version of Prosavin we call OXB102. That's just concluding its preclinical work, and we anticipate putting that into the clinic towards the end of this year and next year. So I mentioned we have a collaboration with Sanofi around our ophthalmology pipeline. This was a deal signed in April 2009 to put 4 products into the clinic at that time for 4 indications. This gives the deal metrics. They gave us an upfront payment of $26 million and also associated undisclosed milestone payments and royalties on sales. And they also, at the same time, although this was an option agreement, they were committed to providing $24 million worth of funding to put these products through the clinic and paid us to do that. And if you look at the rest of the opportunities in the eye, there are many gene defects and opportunities that could be treated with a gene therapy approach. Glaucoma is one at the top of the list. For late-stage glaucoma, where patients are not compliant with existing eye drops and are facing surgery, we have a potential treatment we've licensed in from the Mayo Clinic that we're now beginning to push through into a preclinical development program. As I indicated at the beginning, some 3 or 4 years ago, we made a strategic decision to acquire our own manufacturing facility. We felt we got to the stage in the company's development where we needed to be able to control our own manufacturing. We acquired a facility that was only 8 minutes around the corner from where we're currently located. This has been refurbished and relicensed by the UK regulators. And most recently, we signed an agreement with Novartis to provide lentiviral vector material as part of their CART-19 program that you heard about this morning. In addition, we've had resources and grants from the UK government to expand our manufacturing capability and also to look at efficiencies in how the supply chain is optimized. This slide provides some of the headlines of the achievements that we announced during 2013. I've gone through most of those already. The only one I haven't mentioned there is we signed an option agreement with GSK who needed a freedom to operate license on our lentiviral vector patent estate for 6 products they're developing with an Italian group in Milan. So for 2014, we can see that there are potential inflection points, both in terms of clinical development, but also acquiring new opportunities and also signing up new collaborations around our manufacturing skills. And as I come to a close, this slide is, I guess, fairly self-evident to this audience, but it's becoming certainly clear to us that the activity in the sector is growing, particularly on this side of the Atlantic, with companies being funded, established, and going through IPOs. And even on the other side of the Atlantic now, you're seeing venture capitalists now spinning out new gene therapy companies and being funded. So in summary, I would like to emphasize the strengths of Oxford Biomedica in terms of its gene therapy skills, its intellectual property, its product pipeline, its ability to put products through clinical into accelerated development, to identify new opportunities that will be coming forward in the near future, to expand and generate further revenues from establishing manufacturing alliances that will help to offset and reduce our net cash burn, and to also build on the success we've had in the last couple of years in accessing non-dilutive funding from government sources. And as we move forward in the next 3 to 5 years, we expect to see increasing license revenues from our existing collaborations, but also third-party collaborations that have resulted from licenses in our patent estate, not just on the lentiviral vector patent estate, but also our 5T4 program and other IP that we have divested and licensed to others that's highlighted here. Okay, thank you. That's all I'm going to say today. If you have any questions, I'll be in the breakout room. Thank you.